Hello everybody, Stephen Howson, and this is the top 5 greatest strikers in world football of all time. That's a bit of a wordy title, isn't it? I'll try and think of something a little bit sexier than that. So, a couple of caveats before we get going. This is players who have finished playing. So the likes of Ronaldo and Messi and possibly Aguero, who may enter this list when they do eventually retire. We don't know where they're going to end up on the list because we need to see where they finish and we can then compare them to the greats of the game. But here's my number 5. This is number 5. This guy, Brazilian, scored 1,000 goals supposedly. There's a little bit of controversy about his 1,000 goals. There's some people saying that he's included youth goals in there, but he has released a DVD of which there's 900 goals on the DVD, and the rest from friendlies and youth games and unofficial games and stuff like that. Probably has got over 1,000 in total, but a little bit like Pele, and Pele's not in my list, and I'll tell you why Pele's not in my list. It's because he didn't do it in Europe, and Pele ended up doing a bit of a Harlem Globetrotter thing where he just went and played all these exhibition games all the time. And yes, he did it in the international stage, but he needed to have done it in Europe for me, and obviously had a wonderful career at Santos. But all the players in this list have done it all over Europe, and they've done it on the biggest stage. So for me, number 5, Romario. Now, the 1,000 goal thing is a little bit... Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Officially, I can get him at 743 goals, and that's League and Cup and internationals in 956 games. So that's 743 goals in 956 professional appearances, and that's spread out across PSV Eindhoven, Barcelona, Flamenco, Vasco da Gama, where he had several stints there. He also was in Miami and he did a bit in Adelaide, but he scored nothing in those. The meat of his goals did come for European teams or at the highest level in Brazil. He also scored 55 in 70 for the Brazil national team, where he formed a partnership with a lad that might be on this list as well, original Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. Ronaldo de Lima. I bet he hates the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo's come around and taken what was a fairly unique name for him. So 929 goals for Romario is what FIFA have him listed at, and that's just shy of the 1,000, obviously, because they say he includes 77 from his youth career. Now, throughout this list, I would like you to stick in your memories of any of these players if you've got any. For me, Romario, when United were drawn against Barcelona in the Champions League in the 94-95 season. We drew them at home 2-2, and he scored and absolutely terrorised Gary Pallister all night long. Meg Schmeichel for a goal was a nightmare to deal with all night long, but it was in the Nou Camp where he absolutely lit it up. United got pasted, and it was that time, that was the realisation for me. I saw the game, I didn't go to the away game, but I saw the home game at Old Trafford, and it was an alright game, and I remember thinking, wow, that Mario's decent, but when we watched the away game on TV, that was when I realised that Manchester United were not the best team in the world. That was a proper start realisation. Now, the foreigner rule did us a little bit. I don't think Cantona played. I think Gary Walsh was in net instead of Schmeichel. And this was where a lot of the class of 92 lads got their debuts because of this foreigner rule. But Romario ripped us to pieces. Absolutely ripped us to pieces. And the way he played as a footballer, if I had to describe him to somebody now, it'd be like a more aggressive version of Aguero. He's short, he's only 5'5", but he was good in the air. He liked the spectacular goals, the volleys, the overhead kicks. He was even decent with the head for someone his size. Left foot, right foot, he would hit them from distance, he would take them around the goalkeeper. He was the total package and an absolute nightmare of a centre forward to deal with. And strong as well, you couldn't really get him off the ball because of that low centre of gravity. A joy to watch, an absolute must for a top 5 strikers, and it's a shame that he didn't stick around in Europe more. I would love to see how he'd have done in Italy or maybe even England around that time, because I'm sure he would have absolutely lit it up. When he was at PSV, he scored 165 goals in 167 games. He surpassed the half century for Barcelona. He scored more than a half century in 70 games for Brazil. This guy was the complete package, and it wasn't just because he was playing in the Brazilian leagues. Because actually, his record in the Brazilian leagues was probably a little bit worse than what it was over in Europe, if anything. So this lad, definitely number 5 on the list. Romario, Brazilian Romario. Stick it in the comments what you think about Brazilian Romario, who you think should make up the rest of this list. I'll be releasing them probably every 4 or 5 days or something like that until we get to number 1. Any memories that you've got of Romario? Did you see him live anywhere? Did you go and watch him for Barcelona? Did you manage to catch him when he was at PSV? Anything like that? Stick your memories of Romario in the comments. Anything else you want, drop us a like, drop us a comment, drop us a subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Number 4 coming up next.